Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. And today I want to talk about celebrating. So a lot of the time we celebrate, big things like promotions and birthdays and anniversaries and, if we win, a gold medal or we finally got a new job or whatever it may be. And we celebrate the big things in life, which is amazing. How about, though, we also celebrate the little wins? Maybe the day that you go through and you're like, you actually were able to teach your child something, that you actually connected and they sat down long enough for you to help them understand a problem, a school problem or something like that. Or like for me, the cute moments that the kids say something, or when you realize that your child just really understood something for the first time. So I'm always in awe of all the amazing things that my kids do. And it's celebrating the little things in life. So now this might be a big thing for parents this year, but it's also I'm going to be celebrating the end of school. So as this airs, this is the weekend. Today is the day that we are having an end of school party. I'll be just home from my trip out west, and we're gonna celebrate in just fun pool ways. I'm always celebrating with the kids though. It could be anything. I love celebrating life. So it's not necessarily about don't get me wrong. When we celebrate, we can celebrate the big things. I think it's great that we do. Quite amazing, actually. However, it's also important to celebrate life in general. There's some things where it's I forget who said it, but it's you wake up in the morning, it's oh, thank you for another day. Just celebrating life, that we get to experience it. There's days where I'll just sit and watch my children, and I'm just in awe of them. How grateful I am to be their mom and to be able to witness them growing up. And I know that not everybody is that fortunate. And I just am in awe all the time. Now, don't get me wrong. There's days where I'm just tired and crabby and things like that. But the days that I really realize how grateful I am and celebrate the small wins, moving around throughout the whole day, it's always a more flowing, more amazing experience when I allow and when I just am grateful for those little moments and celebrate them. So it's just being, because the last episode I said how I wasn't feeling it. I was in a funk. I wasn't feeling myself. So this one though, it's just when we focus on the things around us and we come from a place of gratitude and we're celebrating them, it's just incredible. So a few weeks ago, we were just putting on some music. Actually, I had it on at the supper table, celebrating another win. The kids weren't watching TV while eating, which has been a habit we've kind of got into just so my husband and I can have a conversation throughout the evening together before, we're both so tired. I'm I don't want to talk. So it was a win. So I had some music on in the background and it was just let's, listen to this fun stuff. And the music continued afterwards. And all of a sudden, my daughter just broke out in these amazing dance moves. I'm where is she picking this stuff up? She had some dance stuff way back, but it was very contemporary. And this was just more modern and just fun. And then she started making up her own moves. She's like, Mom, this is the BC, because we're looking at moving to British Columbia. So it was just so fun that she had this. And then the rhinoceros, and she just had all these dance moves. And to me, that was a win. With being so isolated recently, she hasn't been able to hang out with friends and see as many people. So she's been very quiet and, just antisocial in a way. So it was really beautiful to see her so creative and just really own her being. And it was an awe moment. So it's these fun little moments of celebration. Your kid could just do something small and just exciting. Maybe they were struggling with a certain letter or number to write it out and they figured it out. Just little moments throughout the day. or, the day that you actually get to enjoy your coffee while it's still warm, or, being able to eat a meal sitting down, things like that. Like if those are things that you don't normally get to do, I highly recommend trying to take time to sit down and eat your meals. But if you don't, it's just celebrating those little wins throughout your day. And it's really incredible because then you see more amazingness throughout your day. And then you're just in this place of, instead of being resisted to like, this is another like day, Mondays, all this fun, crazy, negative stuff kind of holds back from the joy that we can really experience within our day. But when we like celebrate the little wins, it can be really incredible. And it's just all these little things can really just help you move lovingly through your day. And so I mentioned a couple, celebrating your children, which is super important, like celebrating all those fun things. But you can also celebrate, the relationship with your partner, spouse, in different ways. Like, oh my goodness, we actually had a conversation today and it's not 11 or 12 at night. Or just celebrating that you get to hang out and spend more time together. And just like personal wins, like, oh my goodness, I actually like moved my body today, or I made it to the yoga mat. Like anything, big or small, can be celebrated. The more we celebrate life, the more we enjoy life. And I encourage you today to embrace your day, whatever feels right to you. Is it like dancing in your underwear? I know people that go out and dance in the rain. I don't live in a neighborhood where I can do that and feel comfortable. But if that's what moves you, do it if that's what feels comfortable to you. And it's just really, and just celebrating you. Celebrate you and your amazingness. Celebrate your family, your friends, your children. Just, it's about taking any moment in life can be celebrated. And even death can be celebrated because we don't have to focus on the end. We can focus on the life that we're celebrating. So it's just anything and everything can be celebrated. And I know for me, I mentioned it last week where I said goodbye to our family cottage. It was my grandma's cottage, and she sold it. What I did when I left is that I found a place of gratitude. First, I cried. I'm not going to lie. I cried. I've been going to the cottage. It was literally 5 minutes from my parents' house. So literally as a kid, I spent every single weekend there. There was times where if my parents didn't drive there, I walked there. It was about an hour and a half walk as a child, maybe an hour, and about a 15-20 minute bike ride. So I went there a lot. I spent most of my time there, and I don't know what I would have done with my childhood if it wasn't there. So it was just this really incredible, amazing space for me my whole life. So it was very hard to let it go. And at the same time, I'm very excited for the next chapter because it's fun when like one door closes, many more open. And I just felt like we actually couldn't move forward with some of our goals and dreams until that was closed. So it was just this really amazing thing. However, it's still emotional. And so what I did was, though, I allowed my emotions to be there. I released them. And like I said last episode, I actually wrote a goodbye letter and put it in the ground there. But what I did, once I had no more tears to cry, the kids were in the car waiting with my husband so I could just have some moments to myself. We were very grateful. Like, it was a very fortunate day. The wind was breezy, so they could actually be in the car and not, be super hot. And I just went around to every single thing on the property, like not every single thing on the property, but the things that I could have been like spending a whole day there doing this, but I went around to different things and I was very grateful, and I thanked, all these things for being part of my life. So it's just celebrating and being grateful for those things. So maybe some things are changing in our lives, like yours or mine. Like I know we have some major changes going on. And it's not always about focusing on what we're leaving behind. It's focusing on what we're going to. But that doesn't mean we can't show gratitude for what we are leaving behind. Being very grateful. It's so funny. One of the reasons we are moving, there's many though. The big one for us was over the winter. We're just kind of done with snow, like crazy amounts of snow and the cold temperatures. But we're also in a neighborhood that's really loud in the winter. There's schools in the area and church and things. So we're like, I need more nature, quieter. I want to be by the ocean, things like that. And as we're saying goodbye to our house, things are very quiet in our neighborhood because no schools are on. The church hasn't been going on. And I'm like, why are we moving again? And it's not winter. So I had to remind myself, like, why are we making this big change? And the big one, obviously, that is still very noticeable is that we're not near water. We're very landlocked around here. So it was just, I had to remind myself, like, why were we making this change? But because I'm holding so much gratitude for the house we have been living in for so long. Like, it's so fun how we shift our perspective and all of a sudden it's like, well, why are we moving again? So sometimes when we get lost in gratitude and celebration, like it makes everything around us look more beautiful. Have you ever started a day where you stubbed your toe or, something just really did not work out well the very first moment you woke up, and then the rest of the day is poopsies? It's like goes all downhill and crappy, and everything hurts because it feels like a chore to do anything and you just feel grumpy. Think about the days that you wake up and maybe you have a gratitude practice where you wake up and you think about things that you're grateful for right when you wake up. Your day starts so much better because we're focused on the things we love, not the things we don't love. And when you start celebrating the little things in life, you see all the things in life that you can celebrate. And then life looks more bright and beautiful and amazing and just magical when you look at the little things to celebrate. So don't let life pass you by waiting for a big moment to celebrate. Celebrate now. Celebrate you. Celebrate all the amazingness that surrounds you. It may not feel like a lot right now. Maybe you feel it feels dark and heavy and things like that. Find one thing. And when I was in a very dark place, I just focused on that I could walk and that I had arms and a roof over my head. I was like, it wasn't my own roof. I was living with my grandma, but it was a roof. And I was grateful that I had a place to sleep and a job so I could pay off my student loans and all this fun stuff. So focus on one thing at a time. That is how I got out of the most darkest hole I've ever been in, is finding one little thing to celebrate and then another and another. And then a year later, I found my husband. So you just never know what will happen when you celebrate one little thing. And it could even just be celebrating that you're alive today. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Here's to celebrating you and all your amazingness. If you can't see it yet, I'm here seeing it for you. Sending you so much love. Bye for now.